What's happening in Coachella Valley? We are on the rise with Edra Izzo. We are here at the Vault Lounge Dispensary in Cathedral City, and today, a dab will do ya, we are talking about concentrates. I am going to be talking a little bit about vape as well, because it is a distillate of concentrate, but we're going to be focusing here on the wax and the dab, and we can get a little smoke in there.
Hey, thanks for joining us, guys. This is Craig Campbell behind the scenes here, and I'm seeing everybody light up on Facebook and the Coachella Valley. Of course, you can join us on Instagram. I see everybody popping in there. You might not be able to hear me on that mic over there, Instagram, but at Coachella Valley, and right back to you, Edra.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start by telling you what a dab is. So a dab, not the dance move, is a dab, meaning like a dollop, a part, a piece, a pick of whatever amount a dab is to you, a dab. You take the wax and you're heating it so you can smoke it. That's
so people are asking why dab versus any other type of thing. So just take us back for us newbies.
Versus any other type of thing for...
Well,
so a dab is a concentrate, so it's wax. Concentrate obviously means like, you know, a higher amount of. So it's, instead of smoking the flower, people choose to smoke concentrate because then they can smoke less. It smells differently. It's, you know, some people get way higher. Most people get way higher, but depends on your tolerance there. It's going to be extracted in multiple of different ways, but for the most part, you're heating the cannabis flower and then you get a byproduct, which becomes the wax. They call it a dab because that's the method in which you're using to pick your dab. So basically, like, you know, it's like you hear a dollop or a dab. I just want a dab of sour cream, right? Just give me some dab of wax, right? So that's kind of the same way of where saying I'm going to take a dab came from, because you're just going to take a dab. Like, I'm going to take a dab, right? Give me a dollop of sour cream, give me a dab of wax, right? The method that we're going to use today is going to be with the butane torch, but there are other methods like you can use. They have electric, they have e-nail, which is like a metal coil, and that heats it up. And then also we'll talk a little bit about like the vape cartridge, which is, we smoke it, but it's not the best. The best is going to be flower, or actually it's like live resin, resin. So they all have different names and they all have different processes of being extracted. We're not going to go in that today. If there are any scientists or cannabis, you know, technical experts, hit me up so we can do a show on that. But for now, I'm going to go over how you do a dab.
So real quick question from Karen. She's
Sure.
asking, are all dabs made using butane or distillate?
So a distillate is going to be like a byproduct of wax. So you don't really want to be smoking distillates. That's what's in a vape pen, and basically it's just going to be a really, really, really like processed. So like we don't want to eat processed foods, so we don't want to smoke processed cannabis, right? So when you take a dab, you're going to be just wax. It doesn't. It's not an extraction method. Dabbing is just the term for heating the wax, right? That's what that is. It's not the process in which we're talking about the way that you're heating a wax. We're not talking about the stuff like what are you. We're not talking about any of that. It's just when I say I want to take a dab, that means that I want to smoke some concentrated cannabis.
You're welcome, Karen. It sounds like our volume is working pretty good.
Yay.
And Edra's looking great. We are Coachella Valley, and we're on the rise with Edra Izzo, and she is your resident cannabis expert, lifestyle expert. And we're talking about dabs and different modalities, and we've been doing, this is our third episode, and we're here at the Vault, at the Consumption Lounge,
yeah.
That's right, in Cathedral City. Very unique opportunity here in quarantine time. We hope you're enjoying the show. We appreciate all of your comments, and we hope that we're improving week to week. So back to you, Edra.
So I'm going to just go into taking a dab. We'll just so you can see. I have a tutorial like on YouTube and stuff how to take a dab.
And that can be found at Smokin' Edra.
Yeah, or Edra
Smokin'
Izzo.
Edra or Edra Izzo is also a way to reach her on Instagram or on Facebook.
Yep. So you just get your product and you put it on your, it's called a dabbing tool because it's obviously too hot to touch. This part here is called the banger, right, or the nail. And then you're gonna just turn on, it's usually quartz, but it can be something different. you're just gonna turn your torch on and heat it up.
Getting a little bit excited there. Be careful. Got to put your goggles on.
I know, it took me a long time to feel
Are you a
comfortable.
welder also? I know people on
No,
Instagram can't
I
hear this,
use
but
the
people on
butane
Facebook are
one.
loving it.
I use the torch for cooking. You know,
Wow.
for creme brulees.
Of course.
That's my torch.
Yeah.
Some people do the camping torch though. That's just too scary for me.
So we are in a consumption lounge. Some of you are wondering where we're doing this at, in a legal facility. We are also social distance, long distance away, good 10 feet from you, Edra, and people wearing masks in here. It's just us, really, doing this live broadcast, just showcasing some of the different modalities and things available to you out there. You know why? Because it's a very important topic for many of us. And we talk a lot about the medical benefits. And someday Edra's going to talk about her story, and maybe you'll understand her motivation a little bit more.
Exactly. So we just, we don't want it to be super hot. So the more that you smoke, the more that you'll understand the different temperatures that you personally like. They have little temperature, like thermometer things. And if you get like an e-nail, then you get to pick the temperature, so you don't actually have to worry about it. But I'm kind of seasoned, so.
You know, I'm looking at the doctor to the left of me and to the right of you. Next week, I think that we're going to have an opportunity to go right to a PhD, a knowledgeable gentleman, and that's what we're going to continue to try to bring to you guys. At 4:20, I believe, on Saturday, right here again on this channel and on Instagram, we're going to be talking with the doctor and more about smoking and its benefits. And I think anything that you guys would like to talk about between now and then, make sure you let us know in the comments here, and we'll be back at you next Saturday with the doctor in the house, and of course, Edra. Adabaduya. That's the name of the show.
And then usually you want to just kind of, I don't know if you can see me, but you kind of just clean a little bit. If you had any extra wax that did not burn, then if you leave it in there, the next time that you try to burn it, your whole bowl will go on fire. So you don't really want to do that. And then basically, that's how you dab. So what this part was, we'll go over. This is a carb cap. There's a little hole on the top here, so you saw me doing this. You put that on top of your bowl banger nail, whatever you want to call it. Because you can't touch it, right? So when we smoke a bong hit, we pull up, right? We pull up the bong piece, and that's carbing, like letting the air go through. When we smoke a pipe, we're holding the carb, like the little carb hole, right? Whatever. Banking on the name right now. We hold that to let the air flow through. So this is the same concept, but we can't touch it because it's way too hot. So you have your carb cap. So those are all the pieces that are really required. In the beginning, it might seem like a lot of moving parts. I know for me, I was watching people do it and having them set it up for me for like 6 months before I even got anything for me to do it myself. Especially because you have the flame, you need to be really careful. Like make sure that you have space set up for you, at least in the beginning, so that you're not accidentally elbowing the hot things or anything like that. And then also when it comes to dabbing in the beginning, you probably just want to start with one dab and then wait and then see how you feel. And then you'll slowly be able to start saying like, I want to take more. Especially if you see some of my lives, I will take like 3 dabs right after each other. But that's because I know my tolerance, because I smoke medically, and usually in those times I'm like dealing with a migraine or something, right? So your tolerance will be different. Don't smoke because you're thinking that it's going to be cool. Concentrate is going to hit you differently than cannabis. So you might think I have a high tolerance in cannabis flower, but then you get concentrate and it like knocks you on your butt, or it might not make you feel very much at all. And it's also going to be dependent on the amount that you of dab, like how big your dab is, right? How big is your dollop of sour cream? How big is your dab of wax? Those are the little hints and tips I would say.
Tell them who you are, Edra.
Yeah, I'm Edra Izzo. You can find me at Smokin' Edra on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm literally everywhere. You can find me everywhere. I'm on Cannabis, which is also like a cannabis thing. So Everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn.
It's our
Google
resident
Meet.
cannabis expert, lifestyle
Yep.
expert, and
I do
every
other
single
things
week.
too.
Of course you do. That's why it's
You
called
know
On
it.
the Rise, because it's
Exactly.
not just all about cannabis. But you know what? The Coachella Valley is a very important area for
Yes.
cannabis. And
Cannabis
because
is
we are
important.
CoachellaValley.com, we feel it's representative of the community, and we're going to do the best we can to bring you the highest level of authentic, legal, healthy ways to show you cannabis, how to use it, the healthy ways to do it, and with experts. And so, back to you again. I
Yes.
just want to tell people what we're doing here.
Absolutely. So again, I'm Edra Izzo. You can find me at Smoke and Edra. Then I want to get a little bit into just really quickly, because it's kind of a touchy subject.
I'll let you know, Rudy, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to give her a channel. I'll put it right here in the comments when we're done. And I'll put some information about her website, other things and ways to get a hold of her.
Yeah.
And of course us. So check in with us. Thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you guys. All your support's welcome. So, vapes are a very picky, touchy subject. Basically, what we get back into when we were talking about, somebody asked about distillate, right? So distillate is going to be really, really processed concentrate, which is essentially cannabis, right? It goes from wax into then being processed, right? To being then put into the vape pens, which is why it's in this concentrate. Sorry, kind of got me. This concentrate video here, right? This is our topic. It's not good for you, but we smoke it, right? It's one of it smells a lot less. Some people with a really pointed nose will still catch it, right? It has a smell, but it's just way less and it's different. It's obviously discreet, right? I don't have to worry about stuff like that. People that if you don't smoke a lot, it's nice to have, but some of the downfalls are because it is in, I don't know if you can see, because it's in a metal case, you have to worry about that aspect.
Rudy Sanchez is asking, are there safe pens that people can use on the market today?
They're supposed to be safe, but technically, if you're going to look at what distillate itself is, then, is processed food safe?
Gotcha. So
we'll
Rudy,
I guess
we're not sure. I guess
Yeah.
the record's out, and
this
maybe the
point,
doctor will
yeah.
have a little more information
Yeah,
next week, 420
maybe. We'll
on
see,
Saturday.
exactly.
He might have a different opinion, or
Right.
maybe confirm. We
Right.
just don't know.
I
We don't
a
have enough
designated fact
information.
checker now, hey.
Thank you, Rudy.
So definitely. So some brands will say, they'll give you how they've extracted and, all of that kind of a thing. Some may be better than others, but in the end of the day, you do also have to make sure that you are not letting it, half of it sit in there, because I've noticed, personal experience here, not really a fault of anybody, just multiple brands, nothing, but if you keep it in there for too long and you don't smoke, it's halfway, it will start, disintegrating inside of the thing. It will start getting really brown and rusting, and you just can't smoke it anymore. So you have to smoke it. You can't just keep it in there. With wax too, some wax are going to want to keep it in the fridge, right? Because it could go bad, right? It's the same as when you buy good groceries. You have to put it in the fridge or it's going to go bad faster. So there's just different things that you have to keep in mind when you're picking the method and modality that you want to smoke. My favorites are smoking flower and dabs, just the good old-fashioned wax. I do have the cartridges, but it's more just for convenience, which, they always say, convenience you pay for, right? So we're paying for it somehow. But yeah, we'll get more facts on that. I'm interested as well. Other than that, I'm not really going to go very much more into the vapes, because I feel like we could probably get a specialist too. So any people, brand reps, if you want to talk about how you guys have a different vape or something, let me know, and maybe we could get you on the show or something. But again, I am Edra Izzo. We're on the rise with Coachella Valley at the Vault Lounge Dispensary in Cathedral City. Thank you guys. Right?
Yep, fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey, talk to you guys next time.
I'm so proud of you.
Hey, join us in Las Vegas Win Live. Going to be there 11/11 on Sunday, this Sunday, just to check it out, because people want to know what's going on in the world. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Edra.
Thank
and,
you.
Talk to you again next time.
Bye.